Good morning, everybody. Peace and blessings to you, or whenever you're watching this video. Hope this video meets you well. I am recording in the early morning. It's around a little before 5:30 in the morning, and I'm outside in my patio just listening to the early morning sounds of the birds and nature because I am lucky enough to live somewhere where there's a lot of nature around us. Like, we are right next to woods, which is a blessing and a curse. Mostly a blessing, but a little bit of curse when it comes to gardening. But we live right next to woods. And also, the road is on the other side. So you're going to hear the traffic as well, the early morning traffic. Not a lot, but some, you know. And I decided just to come outside and take in some of the early morning sounds today. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you are having a good summer. I hope that you are safe and at peace, and that you feel loved, and that you feel powerful, and that you realize how powerful you are. And I hope that you haven't forgotten your power and your strength, and that you're capable of a lot more than you think. So how much you think you're capable of, you are capable of so much more, because we as human beings underestimate ourselves all the time. Even the greatest of us, even the most confident of us underestimate ourselves. So I just wanted to start this video here, but I'm gonna finish it in my serenity room. And I'm gonna talk about some of the things that I collected, some of the things that I screenshot and collected, the headlines, the news, what's on the surface, what's being talked about. I wanted to do a recording yesterday, but that is not the way how my day turned out. I decided to clean my room, like really clean my room, like mop the floor, move the bed, move the furniture, and mop under the furniture, the places that you can't really reach unless you're intentional about it. And it so ended up that by the time I was finished, I ended up changing my room around. You know how it goes. You're like, oh, I don't want to put this back where it was. I want to change things around. So I gave my room a good mopping, and we changed things around, and the room is different than it has been for the last 6 months or however long we had it this way. Maybe even longer than that. We had it the way that we had the room, we had it that way for a while, and it was time for a change. I didn't know at the time when I started that it was time for a change. I just wanted to mop the floor, because I want to get rid of the excess dust, the parts that you can't even reach or see. So, but then coming on to the end, I realized, oh, I could change this room. I could see a different look, you know, and it made me envision things for my room, things that I'm not able to do right now, because you got to buy a few things. But it made me envision some things for my room, like putting art on the wall, or doing something with my room. It's been a while since I have made my room or any rooms really officially home by hanging things on the wall and all that kind of stuff, because like I haven't felt like home in a long time. I haven't felt like I was at home, you know, and so it's been a while to where I've decided to do anything like that. It's been a while where I felt safe enough and confident enough that where I was is where I was gonna be for a while. And I miss that feeling, and I'm hoping to experience that feeling soon in the future. But one of the things I believe is that I won't be able to experience that feeling until we get this world a little bit better, more in harmony and more balance, and get this world feeling more of a safer world and a better world than the world that we are experiencing right now, where we're seeing the worst of people come out, and produce fruit, or we're seeing the fruit of the worst of people. We're seeing the harvest of the worst of people. Like people that spend their whole life being horrible people are in their harvest season. They're harvesting the cruelty and chaos and all the fruits of the seeds they've sown through the course of their life. You know, the karma that they've created through the course of their life and the course of their unkindness and their cruelty and their mindset and the way how they think. And innocent people, people who don't deserve to be mistreated or used or hurt or attacked because of those type of people, because of those type of people who spend their whole life sowing seeds of hate and cruelty and isms and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of innocent people that are dealing with their harvest as well, dealing with the harvest, the results, the fruit or lack thereof, you know, the bad fruit from that kind of that kind of people, those kind of people, that kind of energy. So yesterday, anyhow, I ended up cleaning, like I said, and while I was cleaning, I was listening to. There were some interesting things I found about yesterday. I found that I was seeing numbers, which I haven't seen in a long time. Seeing angel numbers that specifically for me that people don't really talk about a lot, because I feel like I expanded or I moved into a new level of seeing numbers. Before I used to see the same numbers that everybody talk about, the popular ones, the 333 and the 555 and the 1111 and the 111, and I still see those numbers, but the numbers that I've been seeing over the last year has expanded. I see 1212 sometimes, but a lot of the times I see I've started to see numbers in this way, a sequence of numbers where it's like 717, 727, 737. Like it's always like the first number and the last number is the same, but the middle number changes, and you see it like you see a pattern. So it's so noticeable because you realize that it's almost like if you're looking at the clock every 10 minutes or something, unintentionally, but you're looking at the clock every 10 minutes, like 818 and 808, 818, 828, 838. It's like, you know, you're seeing that time, you're seeing that sequence. It's to the point that it's noticeable. Yesterday I had numbers like that. I was noticing that. And while I was cleaning, I was listening to things, and I just randomly picked on a person that to watch because of the title, the title was, that person was sharing the vision for the future or something like that. This is a mystic person, a spiritual person. And I was curious because a lot of the times, like I told you, part of the core of my channel is curiosity, creation, curiosity, and thought, deep thought. And so I was curious. So I click on the video, and it was an interesting video. A lot of it resonated with me. A lot of it is like I would just take it. I would take it and listen and shelf it until, if I ever see some of the things that are being said there or not, but a lot of it did resonate with me. And I have an open heart. I don't believe that, I don't believe in not believing, I have an open mind and an open heart, and I believe that anything is possible. I believe that there's more to us than we know. I never agreed with people who thought that humanity was just as small and as limited and as simple and as in the box that people wanted us to be in. But that's why I always felt like a stranger in this world. I felt odd and out of place because I never bought into the whole, it's just as simple, or is what it is, or we are small and as limited, as our circumstances, and there is so much out of our control. I kind of felt my whole life I felt like I could do anything that I put my mind to, like if I just learn how to put my mind to it. And I genuinely believed in the Bible verse that said, if you had faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. You know, I felt like I could move mountains, you know. But things happened in my life that showed me that maybe I can move mountains in the way that I thought, you know. Like I really want, but that's a story for another time. But I still believe there's more to us than the world wanted me to believe. And I still believe that we are more powerful than we think. And what I've always wanted to do is to find my inner strength and to be the freest version of myself, and to know my power and to live to my highest potential, to not waste my life but to live to my highest potential. And I always got frustrated by limitations that was out of my control. Pissed me the frig off. So anyway, I was listening to this lady, and she said something. She was talking about souls, and you know, the things that our souls will sign up for and come into and agree to do when we come here on earth. And she's not the only one that speaks in that way about our souls. And you know, I think it was in response to a question of why do people suffer, you know. And in her response to that, she believes that, you know, so our souls sign up for it. Our souls choose its life path. Our souls choose the path that it's going to take in life. And, you know, I from what she said, you know, I received a very, very profound message, and it was a message for and about my mother. And I felt like I had to call her while I was cleaning. I had to call my mother and give her that message right away, which was perfect timing because my mom had a very stressful work day. And we were talking, the lady was also talking about angels and your angel, your guardian angels. And, you know, my mom was talking about something that she had to do and how much she was delayed 7 times, to the point that she was frustrated and pissed. She was delayed 7 times from doing what she was setting out to do, what she never wanted to do, but she was asked to do by the people at work. And she was going out to do the thing. And, you know, it started with her key card breaking. And then there was one delay after another. And I had just come off of listening to someone talking about our guardian angels. And, you know, I said, your guardian angels wasn't playing. Your guardian angels did not want you to go where you were going, at least not at the time that you were going there, you know. And they were like really trying to delay you. And the thing is, that changed the perspective of how she saw that day and how she saw that moment. And by the time we was finished the conversation, my mom felt a lot better about her day and about her life, because the message that I had was powerful. My mom is the kind of person that has gone through a lot of hard things, like really hard things. The kind of things we're talking about suffering, you know. And I never went through those kind of hard things. I experienced some things in my life that was hard, technically hard, like losing a son, like saying goodbye to my baby son, my 5-day-old son, like watching him die next to me, but hearing his last breath. I experienced that. And I thought something was freaking wrong with me, because even though I felt grief, the grief passed, the grief turned into calm really quickly, and it didn't stay as grief. It transitioned into gratitude and calm and love, and already receiving the gift that it left behind, which is the gift of showing me that I am capable of so much more than I think, that I can experience hard things and I could get through it, that I'm more powerful than I think. And it was from that moment, the journey to overcoming my anxieties, my huge anxiety had begun. The transition had begun. It was from that moment. It's like if my son, my 5-day-old son taken my fears, like a good chunk of my fears, and I guess I had to just overcome the remnants of what was left of my anxiety. But the fears is like if you took it, and I think from that time on is when I started to transition into becoming a fearless person. You know, like I would experience normal fears like everybody else, like normal fears of my fear finally worked the way fear was designed to work, as opposed to irrational fear or anxiety fear or fear of just everything. That was when I started. So I wondered why I didn't suffer in the way people suffered, you know, and what was wrong with me. And my mom we were having a conversation with my mom, and she asked, well, what was wrong? I always wondered what was wrong with me. And I said, Mom, I always wondered what was wrong with me too, but in a different way. Because she wondered, she's like, I was never a bad child. Wasn't that bad. So why do I suffer in this way? You know? And the message I received was, Mom, I think that you suffered because that was what the lady was talking about. You know, you carry the karma for your family. You suffer. You carry the karma of your grandmother, your mother, your great grandmother. Your soul signed up because it felt it was strong, free enough. You know, it was strong enough. Your soul signed up to carry the karma of our family line in the past, the generations of the past, and to stop the cycle of all the karma that would have been passed on to me and my siblings and my children. You stop the cycle there. My mom used to spend her many years talking about generational curses and stopping the cycle. And I really believe that my mom took on that family karma, the karma of that family line, on herself, so to stop me and my siblings, and so it wouldn't be passed on to us. And I cried in that message, right, that I gave her, because I knew that even though I went through hard things just like everybody else, I never suffered. I never experienced suffering in the way some people experience suffering. I don't want to experience suffering in the way some people experience suffering. I hope to never experience suffering in that way. But I think a lot of the reasons that I haven't is because my mom signed up to carry that on my behalf, and to carry what have been passed on to us. She decided she was going to take it and not pass it on to future generations. That's how I saw it. That was a profound, deep, beautiful message that I received. And then uh, cleaning up about an hour later, or about sometime later, I don't even know how long, maybe an hour later, she calls because she was supposed to be going to sleep because my mom is a night worker. And she called and told me that she would, when I left, when I hung up, my sister, who is also very spiritual and connected to spirit, had a message and a conversation with her, and more deep conversation ensued, and we were talking about big things and external things, and we were talking about predictions because my sister has a predictive capabilities, so predictions that she received from spirit. And I don't really want to share that one, but it was so interesting, and it's so connected to what is happening now. And it unlocked a level of fascination and interest, and the conversation was so, again, deep and interesting and profound and amazing. And one of the things that was revealed in that conversation is, she's like, do you know about life path numbers? And to be honest, no, I never heard about that. And she told me how you calculate your life path number, and she calculated hers and the mom's and mine. And one of the things that she told me that resonates strongly is that my life path number is 11. And when she read it, it was on point. And when I go up in the Serenity room, maybe I'll share that with you. But when she read it, it was on point. It was like, that is me to a T. And she also said that that was a master number. And again, when I go up in the Serenity room, I'll expand on that a little deeper and share with you I why I get it. where I get it, where I see myself as somebody who would, have a master number, meaning your life path is set. It's destiny, you know. It is more solid, and I will expand on that a little bit more. But I learned something. I learned it's interesting things in that conversation. I unlocked another level of enlightenment and understanding. So yesterday was very, very powerful. And I spent a day collecting things that I was planning to do a recording maybe after lunch, and I never got around to it. The day shifted in a whole different direction, you know. So when I go into the Serenity Room, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've collected and talk about some things. But I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to share that with you. I also want to say that if you didn't get to watch the one that I did, the recording I did on the, what it is, the 17th, I think it's the 15th, on the 15th, yeah, the day before, I hope that you go check it out, because right now I got 3 views, and I hope you go check out that recording. But I just wanted to share that with you. And now the next part of this recording will be me in the Serenity Room later on, after I had my breakfast and maybe take a shower and all that. Is me in the Serenity Room, sharing with you with some of the things that I collected, and some of the things of what I am seeing happening and being discussed, and what's in the news right now. Just an awareness of what is going on in the external world, because I decided that during summer I'm going to pay more attention than I was in this second quarter. I'm going to pay more attention than I was paying in the first quarter, a little extra more attention, because there's something happening. By the end of this summer, wow, the things that are going to happen this summer, I'm just interested to see how the summer turns out. Thanks for watching. Let's go to the Serenity Room. Hey everybody, so now I'm back recording at 9:40 a.m. on the 17th of June, which is 717. I find that to be very cool. 717. That is one of the angel numbers that I've been seeing. Actually, that's the first angel number that I saw today, 717. So that is actually quite interesting. The 17th of June 2025, 9:40 a.m. in my Serenity Room. It is very hot. I am sweating. I turn off the fan so that you wouldn't be hearing the fan in the recording. And let's get at it. I am all dressed up, getting ready to leave home soon. I'm going by my mom's house. We are going to work on spirulina capsules today. You may have seen that video that I did with me and my mom when I went at her house to make a whole bunch of capsules. We made beet capsules, spirulina capsules, moringa capsules, lion's mane capsules, and turmeric capsules, which is really all that's some good stuff. And I've been using that all month, and I have been experiencing the benefits of putting some good stuff in my body. And I ran out of the spirulina, and the spirulina is a superfood. It's an algae, and it's one I really loved and appreciate having most of all. So yeah, as soon as I ran out, it was like, Mom, we need to make some more spirulina capsules. So that's what I'm going to be doing at my mother's house today. Maybe we may record something, or maybe we won't. I just appreciate anybody other than my mom who takes the time to watch my videos. I really do hope that my videos and my style of YouTubing, my style of recording, does find an audience. The audience that it requires is a curious, calm, patient, peaceful audience. People that doesn't mind taking the time and going on a little journey. Don't mind going with the flow, seeing how the conversation goes, because I'm not as it's always a whole bunch of stuff in one recording. It's always going from here to there to here to there to there to there to here to here, blah. Let's try that again. Going from here to there to there to there to there to here to there to there. That's the way how my mind works. I would like to say that I could do it differently, but honestly, the only way I could be is me. And the way I am is faceted, a multifaceted observer of everything, of life, of everything. So I talk about all this stuff. I talk about what I see on, I talk about the things that I see, the things that interest me, the ideas, the things that come to my mind, you know, and my soul when I hear certain things or I see certain things that unlock a new level of understanding or enlightenment or curiosity or interest or something I want to try, something I want to learn more about. And it happens in such a way that, you know, I could be reading a whole bunch of books in one year, and it might take me a whole year to finish various books because I'm listening to various books and reading various books at the same time, watching different kinds of creators, all kinds, like I've constantly said, historians and psychologists and political analysts and just and spiritual mystics and psychics and tarot readers and people that read body language. And I just have an interest of how other people see the world, and I'm always curious to see if there's something that they will say or something that I will learn that will trigger a new level of understanding and knowledge inside of me. I believe that knowledge alleviates fear. I believe that the more knowledge you have and the more you understand something, the less you have reason you have to fear it. Like when you know that, when you know, whether it's good or bad, when you know, and when you understand, it is so much better than you using you're letting your imagination go run away with you, not fully understanding something. And a good example of that is a good story. That's a good example of that is Chicken Little, with the sky is falling, the sky is falling. So I am always interested in learning, and I love that we live in this period where we got the internet. We got the information right there, like so much information right in the palm of our hands, right at our fingertips. We don't have to go to the library. We don't have to sit down in a class and call it in some we don't have to go to a conference or sit down for a lecture by in college, or you know what I'm trying to say. We don't have to do those things. I mean, we could do those things, but we don't have to do those things. It's still good to learn from experts and well-educated people who structure the everything in such a clear and concise manner in which you don't have to interpret it on your own. You could learn from the teacher, but I kind of find the organic way of learning more interesting and fascinating than sitting down in the classroom and having stuff written on a chalkboard, or having a teacher lecture you, or I find this way to be interesting and fascinating. I don't know if it's the right way or what, but it just makes life more interesting. It's cool to be a curious person. So anyway, let me get to my point. I wanted this is a part of a series that I want to do, this almost daily series. I won't do it every day because I can't promise that, but it's a daily Lightworkers observations and awareness of what is going on. And trust me, I have been collecting stuff yesterday and a little bit this morning, and gathering information and screenshotting things, because the reason I like to screenshot this stuff is so that I can remember, and not give wrong information. I could quote the thing, the actual stuff that I saw, so I know there's a lot of people out there that creates, and then they put the information out in a quicker way. You can get in smaller doses and more clarified doses and all that. That's not me. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. Basically, my style is we kind of just go on this like little learning observation thing together, and I'm showing you what I am observing and what I'm aware of and what I'm understanding from things. And you know, we can have conversation about it eventually when I find my audience. We could talk about it. If you know, we could discuss anything that's piqued your interest or inspired you or whatever. And sometimes maybe I talk more than people who don't like a lot of talking would appreciate. But I do that because that is the way that whatever is supposed to come out gets out there. You know, there may be things that need to get out that I don't know how far down it is, and I don't know when it's going to pop up, and I don't know where it's going to come. From what part of the talk and discussion is going to come. And those are the things that I call gems. So if anytime you see me use the word gems when I'm talking about, you know, my stuff, gems are to me the little special piece of wisdom or unique thought that I think is worth keeping, is worth it could unlock a new level of enlightenment or inspiration or motivation or encouragement or an idea, unlock an idea for whoever that gem is for, whoever is going to receive it, whoever is going to get what that gem is for. So let's talk about some things. You know, one of the things that is still happening is the Epstein conversation from all spectrums of the internet. People are still talking about the Epstein, which is pissing off certain people. It is freaking that guy to heck out, you know, and he's panicking. he's doing things like a guilty person. He is doing things like a person that got some serious shit to hide. He is making it obvious to anybody with common sense that is a cover up, and they're covering up for something. And all of the actions that are being taken is out of desperation and panic and wanting to hide the truth. And it seems to me is that the truth is coming, and he knows it, he feels it. So now he's trying to rebrand a thing that he kind of used as a way to get people to vote for him, a way to motivate and energize his people, the people that he knew was going to help him to get to where he is, and that the people that were going to fall for his nonsense, his lies, and believe his BS and believe his promises, and was going to vote for him. And he used it as a tool, and now he wants to shove it away. He wants it to go away, you know. So he's trying to rebrand it now because he's a marketing guy. He's trying to rebrand it as the Democratic hoax that was created by Obama and Hillary and Biden. I have that quote somewhere, but I don't know where it is. He yesterday he gave it a big name, but it's now the Epstein hoax created by the Democrats, which leads a lot of creators, a lot of observers. I was listening to a lot of people yesterday, lead a lot of observers to believe that he knows some people out of his control has this information, and it is coming. He sensed that it's coming, and their cover up will not be enough. That is what his actions are causing a lot of people to believe, that is a guilty man that knows it's coming and is trying to get ahead of it and trying to rebrand it now. A lot of people speculate it's not going to work. I also don't believe it's going to work, but I am not going to speculate on anything. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just an observer watching to see how things play out. I have my own opinions of what the truth are, my own beliefs of what the truth is. You know, there's some parts that I don't know. And there's a lot I don't know. But there's some things that to me is so obvious. Like I've always called him the naked emperor. Like it's obvious that he's naked. It's obvious that he's a liar and he is a deceiver. And you know that they're lying. You know he's lying and they're lying when they open their mouths. So when they say something, you know, is either the opposite is correct or that is a blatant lie. It's a half truth. I don't even think they do half truths, but it's a lie. And more than likely it's a projection and the opposite is true. All right, so one of the things that I saw come out, a notification that came out on my phone, and I didn't understand what the significance was until today, but I saw that he had fired a FBI direct. He had fired a federal prosecutor. Her name was Maureen Comey, and I wondered if Maureen Comey, I recognize the last name, and I wondered if that was James Comey, the former FBI director that Trump fired, like the first FBI director that Trump fired, James Comey. I wondered if that was his daughter, you know, if she was related to him. And I found that out today that she is in fact his daughter. And my thoughts was, okay, well, is this a revenge thing? Because suddenly James Comey's name is coming out of Trump's mouth more often than it has been in a while because the Epstein files thing. And he is saying that it's the Epstein file was created by James Comey and Hillary and Obama and Biden. Basically just using the same old arguments or, you know, things that he says, right? The same old lies that he says, the same old language that he always used, just, you know, copy and pasting and changing things up a little bit. And I wonder if people that follow him and have been listening to him the whole time, if they don't see the patterns or don't see anything anything off or wrong with that. So anyway, so this political screenshot that I have here says Maureen Comey, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, was fired Wednesday from her job as prosecutor in the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office. And that was their little description thing that you write at the top, and then you got Maureen Comey. The actual title of the article says Maureen Comey, daughter of James Comey, is fired from her job as federal prosecutor. So, and I also read a Substack to talk to somebody discussing that, so to help me to understand that a little bit better. Okay, so the Substack I read today this morning was the unexplained firing of Maureen Comey, a political problem of Trump's own making. And this was written by someone called Marie Riverton, and it is from the Kaufman Chronicle. So, the unexplained firing of Maureen Comey, a political problem of Trump's own making. That's the title, and I read that. It's very, very interesting and very informative. So I don't know how long this video is going to last or how much I'm going to get saved before I have to get up and go. So let me just share with you this really short poem that I wrote. I didn't have a lot of words, but I just used a few. It's called He Digs. He digs and he digs and he digs and he digs, using the same shovel he had used innumerable times before. But this time, instead of digging out, he is desperately digging himself in. Instead of getting out, he is burying himself, digging and digging and desperately digging. And I'm imagining this, just digging. And what I mean is, with all that digging, what I mean is truth social after truth social after truth social, begging people to stop and trying to rebrand the thing, and being a baby and acting like a fool, acting like a guilty man, acting like a desperate man, acting like a scared man, using ridiculous words and saying ridiculous things, calling it a liberal hoax all of a sudden, and disowning his supporters by saying he don't need them and that they're weak and they're gonna fall for this liberal hoax and all kinds of stuff. That's some serious gaslighting and abuse. He acts so much like an abuser. Because like basically now making his supporters feel like they're the crazy ones, even though he made the promises, even though he stoked the fires. And now he wants to gaslight them into believing that they're weak and they're the crazy ones and they're the foolish ones because they believe in the liberal hoax, the Democratic hoax, which wasn't a liberal hoax or a Democratic hoax when it was convenient. The Epstein files. Anyway, let me read that poem again because I did not use the last line of it. I didn't say the last line of the poem. He digs. This poem is called He Digs. He digs, he digs, he digs, and he digs, and he digs, and he digs, using the same shovel he has used innumerable times before. Using the same shovel he has used innumerable times before. But this time, instead of digging out, he is desperately digging himself in. Instead of getting out, he is burying himself, digging and digging and desperately digging. Why isn't this working? And that's the end of my poem. Short and simple and, not straightforward. But if you know, you know. If you get it, you get it. All right, so I just got a notification that my phone is too hot. And I think I'm going to end this video here. And I'm going to discuss and talk about the things that I screenshot, yesterday at in another video. And I appreciate you being here. I hope that you enjoy my stuff and you help me to grow my YouTube channel and help me to grow as a content creator and tell my story, put myself out there and be courageous and do this thing and see where it takes us. It is kind of like a little bit it's kind of, I still ask myself questions like, is this what I really want to be doing? Is this worth it? Should I continue to do this? But the truth is that I love it even though it scares me. I love it even though it scares me. And I hope to see success. And I hope to see my journey take me where I hope to go. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and help this channel to grow. And just one last thing, I just wanted to share, because this is a part of this series, this summer series that I call Today, and I'm recording on 7/17/2025, which is the 17th of July. Gosh, did I say July the whole time or June? Which is the 17th of July. And I'm recording on 7/17/2025, which is the 17th of July. It is Thursday. I'm going by my mom's house to make some spirulina capsules. And I hope that you are, whenever you see this video, I hope that you're doing well and having a good summer. It's really hot in here. I hope you're having a good summer, and just keep calm and keep the faith and continue to work on yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Do the things that you can and worry about the things that that you can control. Work on the things that you can control. Do you. Thank you for watching. Peace and blessings. Thank you for watching. Peace and blessings.